Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today we are jumping into the side hustle economy. It's just everywhere, right? Everyone seems to be trying to build that second income stream. And a lot of that seems fueled by, well, rising prices and just general economic anxiety. We've pulled together market reports, rate analyses from freelance platforms, and some strategic guides. Basically trying to give you the most concise roadmap for success in 2025.
Yeah, and it's a really essential deep dive because, while starting something on the side is super common, the success rate, not so high. Our sources really confirm that most people, they start a temporary gig. It's not really a scalable business.
That distinction feels really important.
Oh, it's absolutely vital. I mean, if you're serious about building a reliable income stream, you need that strategy. And frankly, the legal foundation too. That's what turns casual work into, professional profit.
Exactly. So our mission today is to try and cut through all the noise, identify what's actually making money this year, and tell you precisely how to structure that hustle so it actually lasts. Just for context, our sources pointed out some key labor stats, like 5% of the workforce holds more than one job.
Right.
And get this, over 1 million of those are short-term contracts. So when you look at those numbers, what's the immediate thing? What separates that successful 5% from, well, the rest who just burn out?
It's often a structural failure.
Yeah.
But it looks like a lack of effort from the outside. One of the biggest reasons these things crash is, well, it's simple. Oversaturation. Yeah, people chase the same trendy gigs. Think like generic drop shipping or those really simple digital products.
Yeah.
And the margins just shrink, sometimes before they even make back what they spent on that online course they bought.
And that ties right into the expectations, doesn't it? They seem totally unrealistic sometimes. We're constantly sold this idea of quick passive income, right? But it hides the steep learning curve and the time you actually have to put in up front.
Exactly. And before you've even made, say, $100, you might have sunk $500 into software or courses. You're spending before you even know if the model works for you.
Which leads straight to burnout.
Absolutely. That feeling of staring at the ceiling at 1 a.m., wondering if that $50 gig was worth losing 4 hours of sleep, we've all been there, maybe. If you're sacrificing every single evening, every weekend, on top of a 9-to-5, honestly, it's not sustainable. It affects your health.
So, okay, we need a mindset shift. Our sources flagged, 3 big mental barriers. First mistake, choosing an idea just because it's a moneymaker, not something you actually, enjoy or care about.
That's a big one.
Yeah, because running a business is tough. That passion, that's what gets you through the setbacks, the slow times.
And the second mistake, letting competition scare you off. Now, this sounds kind of backwards, but competition, it's actually a good sign.
Really?
Yeah. It confirms there's market demand. It means you don't have to spend ages educating people on a totally new concept. It should actually push you to specialize, not make you want to quit.
Okay, that makes sense. And the third barrier, you mentioned it's the biggest?
Simple inaction, just not starting. The difference between success and failure often just comes down to execution. Lots of people talk, but actually doing the thing, that's the separator.
Right. Do or do not. There's no try.
Exactly. And if you only have, let's say, an hour a day, which is pretty common if you're working full time, you have to be laser focused on that execution. A key lesson here is prioritizing active work over passive learning.
Okay, define active versus passive.
Sure. Active work is the stuff that directly generates revenue or builds the business. Creating content, making sales calls or packages, networking, actually coding the website. Passive learning is stuff like, well, listening to deep dives like this one or reading industry news. That's important, but you can often do it while you're commuting or cleaning or walking the dog.
Gotcha. So save that dedicated hour for the needle-moving tasks. And be realistic, right? Pick one thing to launch. Aim for, 70 or 80% good enough.
Precisely. Perfectionism will kill your momentum before you even start. You can always refine it later.
Okay, let's pivot. Let's talk about the money, the fun part. We looked at freelance rates for some high-value skills, specifically based on those express, 24-hour delivery options on platforms. Gives a really sharp snapshot of what specialized talent is worth right now.
And the rates, they're pretty impressive. For the really skilled gigs, marketing strategy, that came in top overall, averaging about $150 a day for just one job delivery.
Wow. So clients will pay a premium for fast, usable plans.
They absolutely will. And reflecting the tech surge, the top AI-related hustle was creating AI spokesperson videos. That's pulling in around $110 a day.
So using AI tools to quickly make professional-looking videos for businesses?
Exactly. And for the writers out there, writing website content was strong too, about $107.50. That led the writing category. These are solid high-value rates.
Okay, but what if you need cash flow like now and don't have those specialized skills yet? What pays the best with basically no experience required?
Good question. Looking at hourly rates for those, focus groups actually top the list, about $28 an hour.
$28 an hour just for giving your opinion, not bad.
Not bad at all. Then you've got things that use organizational skills or are more local. Virtual assistant, that's around $26.63 an hour.
Yeah.
Website tester at $25.
Okay.
Dog walker near $25 too, actually $24.84.
Yeah.
And nanny at $21.39. These take your time, obviously, but the barrier to entry is super low. Great for just testing the water, seeing if you even like working for yourself.
And what if your main issue is you have zero starting cash? What are the good remote options?
Oh, yeah, the zero-cost remote ideas are perfect starters. All you need is your device and internet. Classic examples are freelance writing or podcast editing. You can learn that using free software like Audacity.
Okay.
Also Instagram management. Just focusing on creating the content and the strategy for maybe a small local business.
And you mentioned coaching earlier.
Yes, coaching is booming. It's estimated to be, what, a $4.5 billion industry worldwide, and the barrier to entry is quite low. If you have expertise in something, fitness, finance, time management, whatever, you can potentially turn that into a coaching business.
Okay, so that brings us to a really crucial point for actually growing your income. Specialization. You said generic freelancing is dead, but wait, if I specialize too much, don't I risk, losing half the potential market? Isn't being a generalist safer at the start?
Yeah, that's a really common fear. But honestly, the data points the other way pretty strongly. A generalist might have a wider potential pool, sure, but they're competing with millions, which drives rates down. The specialized freelancer, though, they can often charge 2, maybe even 3 times more. Clients aren't usually looking for just a writer. They want, say, a B2B SaaS copywriter who understands their specific industry jargon. They'll pay more for that certainty.
They want someone who speaks their language.
Exactly. Someone who gets their pain points immediately.
Okay, so where is that specialty really paying off right now? What are the hot niches?
Anything related to efficiency and automation is huge.
Yeah.
So AI prompt engineering and automation. And this isn't just, asking ChatGPT a simple question. It's about building complex AI-driven workflows for businesses, automating customer support, synthesizing data, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
What else? Short-form video and Reels editing. Still massive. TikTok, Shorts, Reels, they dominate everything. Businesses know they need this content, but they often just don't have the in-house skill or time to crank it out quickly.
So you become their quick turnaround video editor.
Pretty much. And on the e-commerce side, conversion rate optimization, or CRO, that's critical. Think of it like fixing a leaky bucket on a website. You help Shopify or WooCommerce stores stop losing customers during checkout. Running A/B tests, optimizing layouts.
Super valuable. Anything else stand out?
Yeah, personal branding and ghostwriting, especially for executives, leaders on platforms like LinkedIn or maybe X. These leaders need to be visible, build authority, but they just don't have the time to write consistent, high-quality stuff themselves. So you become their voice.
Okay, so you've niched down. How do you actually scale this thing while you're still maybe working a full-time job?
Right, scaling strategy. Time management is absolutely number one. Block out specific time, maybe it's Saturday mornings, whatever works for you, for only active work. And set really concrete, measurable goals for what you'll achieve in that session.
And leverage tech, right? Build your tool stack.
Oh, absolutely. Identify those repetitive admin tasks and automate them. Things like Trello or Asana for managing projects. Canva is great for quick graphics. MailChimp for email marketing automation. Automate anything that isn't your core specialized service delivery.
And eventually, outsourcing.
Yes. Once you're stretched thin and making decent money, start strategically outsourcing tasks that aren't your core strength. Maybe it's bookkeeping, complex graphic design, customer service inquiries. Use platforms like Fiverr or Upwork. That frees you up to focus purely on the high-impact, revenue-generating work you specialize in.
Okay, so the moment your side hustle starts bringing in consistent cash, you have to make it official, right? Professionalize it. It stops being just a hobby. It's a small business. And this step is crucial for avoiding those nasty surprises later on.
Yeah.
Taxes, liability.
Exactly right. The professional approach means taking your work seriously, keep growing your network. Lots of work comes from word of mouth and repeat clients. And yeah, most importantly, making it official, starting with the legal and financial separation.
So what does that mean practically? For paperwork, protection. For For a lot of people, the goal is limiting personal risk, right? You can start simple as a sole proprietorship, but for serious protection. The limited liability company, the LLC, that often comes up.
Yeah, the LLC is popular for a reason. Its main advantage is it creates a legal separation between you, the person, and the business itself. It protects your personal assets, your house, your car, from business debts or lawsuits. If the business gets sued or goes bankrupt, your stuff is generally safe.
Okay, that's a big one. But regardless of the structure, you mentioned two immediate must-dos.
Yes. First, if you plan to hire anyone, or if you structure as anything other than a sole prop, you need a federal tax ID. That's an EIN, Employer Identification Number, from the IRS for tax filing.
Got it. EIN. And the second?
This one's non-negotiable. Open a dedicated business bank account. You must legally separate your personal and business finances. Mixing them is a huge red flag. This simple step is absolutely critical for clean bookkeeping, for tax compliance, and honestly, for proving that legal separation if you ever face an audit. Don't run business stuff through your personal checking.
Okay, structure, EIN, business bank account. What else? Licenses, insurance.
Definitely. You have to research licenses and permits, federal, state, and local. These vary hugely depending on your industry and where you live. And insurance is key. Look into general liability. That covers basic accidents. If you sell physical products, product liability is pretty much essential.
Right.
And some types, like unemployment or disability insurance, might even be legally required depending on your structure and location.
And underpinning all of this,
Yeah.
just keep good records.
Yeah, absolutely. Maintain clear, accurate records of every transaction. It's not just for taxes, though that's crucial. Good records actually tell you what's working in your business, where the money's coming from, where it's going. That's how you make smart decisions to scale.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot. We went from identifying those high-pay, low-entry hustles that are working now, established that doer mindset, stressed specializing to charge more, and then walked through building that scalable legal foundation.
Yeah, the takeaway really is that success here needs strategy, and it needs commitment. Technology makes getting started incredibly easy. You can literally sign up on a platform today and potentially get paid tomorrow. But building a reliable, long-term business, that takes dedicated effort. It's not passive hope. Don't just chase the latest trend. Build something with real high value. Build systems.
All right, so here's the final thought for you to chew on as we wrap up. When you're first starting, the path of least resistance. It's often selling a simple service or maybe a quick physical product. It feels tangible. It's maybe easier to get those first few dollars. But the path to real long-term leverage, to maybe building actual wealth from this, that usually involves creating specialized scalable systems, things like those refined digital products or AI-driven services that can potentially work even when you're not actively working. So the question for you is, what small, maybe 70% ready step can you take today toward building that more scalable long-term goal?